Astrotometry log. It's approximately 3:16 UTC. I want to mention that I uploaded the last log about 25 hours after I had originally recorded it. And I went ahead and uploaded it anyway, even though I knew that there had been additional earthquakes that were sort of contradicting the statement that I'd made about the activity tapering off. And I went ahead and uploaded it partially for a talking point and partially just to have some closure on that particular analysis of those incidents. There were other earthquakes. One of them that's not listed here was off the coast of Chile, and there was a 26-foot wave that smashed into a cruise ship carrying 2,000 people and killed 2 passengers. It says that 6 others were injured. And so there's a certain amount of danger in saying there's not going to be more earthquakes in one of these watch periods. But there also was a 6.4 quake in Taiwan and another 6.1 off the coast of Chile, and then a 6.4 in Vanuatu, and then most recently a 6.3 in Antofagasta, Chile. Now, just to look at these sort of one at a time, the 6.4 in Taiwan is pretty much a direct hit on the northern event that I am sort of looking for, and so I'm considering this is a bit farther south than I had expected. But this is something that I was looking for. I was looking for an aftershock. I thought we had already seen the aftershock, or should I say the main event. But this is probably going to be the end of it for now, because the geomagnetic activity is starting to stabilize now. And so before I posted this, the activity was still up and down over the 0 point, and it's starting to stabilize now. But this other quake that is in Vanuatu, even though this is almost exactly where I thought the southern event would be, this is actually not something I'm associating with that particular coronal hole. This is actually a different sort of event. It doesn't surprise me that it's happening during the watch, but the association that I'm making with this event is with an X-ray spike that happened approximately, almost exactly the same time as this event. And so this 6.4 in Vanuatu was on the 4th at 14:02, and in the X-ray activity we have basically the same time that's associated with the X-ray spike. And there's another event that I'm also associating with that was closer to the top of the hour on the 5th. And this event is right here in Antofagasta, Chile. And so even though this event is in Chile, and even though it's close to the area, this one here in Antofagasta is much farther north. And this I'm not associating with this particular event. So I'm associating this with the coronal hole and this with subsequent X-ray activity. And so this is not something that I would have been able to predict without a different method. There's a different method that's going to be necessary for predicting these sorts of events. This one here in Vanuatu, and this one here in Antofagasta. And you can see there's a little piece of data missing, or it looks like there's data missing here. And what's actually happening here is this curve is so steep, it's a spike, and it's that sudden change that I've noticed are associated with what I call the warm finger effect quakes. And what this is a burst of energy that causes a shattering in the crust, in the core weather model. That's the theory, is this is a sort of shattering. And these usually happen in mountainous regions. They usually happen where there is a mountain that is sort of growing, and it shatters. And so that's probably a mountain there. Yeah, so it's probably near this mountain here. And so this is a growing mountain effect. That it's a different sort of quake. And this is also a very deep quake. This was 105 kilometers deep. And so this is a very different event, this one and the one in Antofagasta. And even though this one in Vanuatu is almost exactly where I thought there would be events, I'm not going to count this as being part of the watch, because this isn't the same kind of event I was looking for. This is almost 200 kilometers deep, and I think these are possible to predict, but not with the technology and the resources that I have right now. And so there's going to have to be some fairly sophisticated computerized analysis going on before it's possible to predict these. Again, it's not surprising to see that they happen during the watch period, but at the same time, those two are not part of the watch. But it is possible but there were subsequent ones that were offshore Chile that are, and since I made that last video. And I don't want to say now that it's over, because I'm not sure, but it does look like it, just based on at least the coronal hole part of it, just based on the stabilization of the magnetic field. And that said, there is a possibility for more activity in the coming week. We have another hole that is forming, and so this, I'm not sure exactly when this event is going to happen. I'll do some more analysis on this and try to figure it out. But the modeled look to the solar corona right now indicates to me that there's going to be a lot of shaking, just generally a lot of shaking. And I don't know if some of these places that are modeled are going to, I don't know if some of these places that are modeled are going to develop into larger holes or not. I don't know about that. But I'm suspecting that just because there is so much differentiation in the corona, that we're gonna see this shaking that we've seen going on for the past since the time of the Chile event continue. I think we're going to see this shaking continue for a while, but I'm not looking for anything as large as we have seen, unless there are more of these X-ray events, and it's unlikely because of the activity level on the sun right now. These are very unlikely right now, and so the method that I'm using with the coronal holes has been working pretty well because we're at the solar minimum, and so that method is going to have to be adjusted as the solar cycle starts up if it normalizes. Thanks for watching.